Welcome to the Sports Jam for the week of October 22nd. I'm John Jacobson.
And I'm Jay Wilcox. Today on the show, we'll have a look at the Wayzata girls soccer dynasty in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Plus, we'll hear from the Cooper football team as they get set for the playoffs.
We'll start with football and a big night to end the regular season leading into this week's playoffs. The conference title in both divisions of the Northwest Suburban Conference came down to the final night. In the West Division, Osseo hosting Totino Grace for the title. Osseo's first possession, Garrison guard to Bridge Tussler, 62-yard touchdown pass, 7-0 Orioles. Osseo's defense on point in the first half. Rakeem Felder breaks through for the sack. The Eagles will be forced to punt. Grace finally gets to the end zone late in the second quarter on the 4-yard run by Kez Flomo. It's 7-all at halftime. The Eagles bring some defense of their own in the third quarter. Jared Schmidt sacks guard, forcing the fumble, a scramble for the ball. Osseo recovers, but they would later punt. In the fourth quarter, TG puts together a drive in which they convert twice on fourth down. A.J. LaPanta hits Mason Kalazewski on the 20-yard pass. Eagles go ahead 14-7. Last chance for Osseo, 4.7 seconds left. Ball in midfield with guard's pass is intercepted by Carlton Jam. Totino Grace wins the West Division of the Northwest Suburban Conference with a 14-7 victory.
The division title was also on the line in the Northwest Suburban's North Division. Maple Grove visiting Champlin Park for the title. Both teams 4-0 in league play coming in. Maple Grove star wide receiver Jake Winicky gets behind the Rebels defense and Blake Skya finds him. Winicky takes it the rest of the way for an 82-yard strike and a 7-0 Crimson after one. In the second quarter, the Rebels with the reverse to Bryce Marquardt. He goes all the way down to the Crimson 5-yard line to set up a Trevor Garrison TD. It's 7-6 after a missed PAT. Maple Grove threatens right before halftime, but Dylan Saline nabs his second interception of the night for the Rebels. It stays 7-6 Crimson at halftime. A high punt snap cost Champlin Park in the third quarter as Jake Engelken recovers in the end zone for Maple Grove. It's a touchdown for the Crimson. Matt Lombardi's team goes up 14-6. Champlin Park pulls within 17-12 on a close play here. Marquardt battling the defender, and it's ruled a touchdown catch for the Rebels. But Maple Grove holds on to win 17-12. They secure the third conference title in program history.
Wayzata and Eden Prairie each suffered losses to Edina in recent weeks. The 2011 Prep Bowl finalists met up in the regular season finale. This one at Eden Prairie, where the Eagles were looking to avoid back-to-back home losses. Both teams playing tough defense. Eden Prairie's Ryan Connolly sacked by Danielle Davis of the Trojans, forcing an Eagles turnover on downs. The Eagles defense comes up big too. Reed Pedersen tackled for loss by Jack Cottrell, stalling a Wayzata drive. It's scoreless in the second quarter. That's until this play. 1:07 to go in the half. Jeff Borchard scores on a 5-yard run. The Trojans lead the Eagles 7-0 at the half. Huge play in the third quarter when Wayzata's number 24, Chris Pearson, gets in for the block punt. Bounces to Drew Greeley, who scores a touchdown for the Trojans and puts them ahead 14-0. Later in the quarter, the Eagles come up with a big goal line stand. John Reynolds stops Borchard just short of the end zone on fourth down. However, that actually helps lead to Wayzata's next points. Connolly back to pass under a big rush in the end zone, throws it away into the Wayzata bench. That's intentional grounding, and because it happened in the end zone, it's a safety for Wayzata, and they go up 16-0. Last chance for the Eagles to get something going, but the fourth down pass by Grant Schaefer falls incomplete. Wayzata pins a shutout in Eden Prairie, 16-0 Trojans, the final. In the Tri-Metro Conference, Breck was looking to break a 2-game losing streak when they hosted their biggest rival, the Mustangs, at home to take on Blake. First quarter, the Bears' Marcus Berg takes a toss, runs it in from 5 yards out. Blake out in front, 14-0. Same score in the second quarter when Breck quarterback Ramsey Sorrells throws to Tylen Hollis, 25 yards for a touchdown. Mustangs are on the board, trailing 14-6. Still in the second quarter, Berg keeps his balance and gets into the end zone for his third touchdown of the game, 21-6 Blake at the half. Third quarter, Jack McNeil rushes in from 5 yards out, the first of two scores for the senior, and it's 28-6 Blake. Fourth quarter, Hollis He makes a great grab at the back of the end zone for the second of his 3 touchdown receptions for Breck. Not enough, though, as Blake beats Breck 42-24.
Some local football teams start playoff competition Tuesday, and the teams in the new Class 6A get started on Friday. Maple Grove is the #1 seed in Section 5 of 6A, with Osseo 2nd and Champlain Park 3rd. Brainerd is the only team that's not from the Northwest Suburban in that section. Friday, it's Maple Grove hosting Coon Rapids, Osseo hosts Anoka, and Champlain Park is at home against Centennial. In Section 6 of 6A, Wayzata earns the #2 seed behind Lake Conference champ Edina. Eden Prairie is 3rd, Hopkins is 4th, and Armstrong is 8th. The Falcons play at Edina Friday, with Wayzata hosting South and Hopkins hosting Minnetonka in a rematch of their regular season finale. Totino Grace is the top seed in Section 4 of Class 5A, with North Suburban Conference champ Spring Lake Park at #2. Andover also looking good at #6. We said Cooper is the #2 seed behind De La Salle in Section 6 of Class 4A. Benilde is #4 and Park Center 7. Park Center plays at Cooper on Tuesday. Providence Academy didn't have quite as good of a year as last year, but they are still a top seed in Section 2 of Class 3A. Breck is the 4th seed. The Mustangs host Rockford Tuesday. Providence has a bye into the semis. Brooklyn Center is the #8 seed in Section 4 in Class 2A. The Centaurs are on the road against top seed Mayor Lutheran in the quarterfinals on Tuesday. While no teams we cover on Channel 12 made the state girls tennis tournament, the singles tournaments do have some local representation. Kelly Yang of Wayzata won the tough Section 6 AA singles tournament and is the 4th seed for the state tournament. Yang meets Faith Lee of Andover in the opening round Thursday morning at the U of M's Baseline Tennis Center. Patty Zhao of Breck is the #1 seed in Class A singles. Ava Sullivan of Providence also qualified in Class A. That tournament is at the Reed Sweat Tennis Center in South Minneapolis, also starting Thursday morning.
The state girls swimming and diving meet is still about a month away. The coaches run True Team meet was Saturday. Minnetonka won the meet with 2,203 team points. Wayzata finishes 2nd. Stillwater came in 3rd place with Eden Prairie 4th. Maple Grove finished 7th out of 12 teams. Wayzata's medley relay team of Emma Paulson, Madison Price, Mackenzie Merriam, and Anna Petty set a new meet record with a time of 1 minute, 47.04 seconds. A solid performance for the Trojans. Again, that State High School League coming up in November.
That's right, and still to come here on Sports Jam. Highlights from section soccer, including a controversial ending to one match.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. Jake, quite a finish to the Totino Grace Prairie Seas boys soccer game last week, but not for the reasons you would hope.
Yeah, it was actually a very good game, but the fight at the end, of course, is what got everybody talking, and now the Lycans, after winning, trying to put it behind them. Prairie Seeds and Totino Grace were by far the 2 best teams in the Section 5A boys soccer tournament. The Lycans winning 12-0 and the Eagles 9-0 in their semifinal games. Unbeaten Prairie Seeds trying to take another section title. Off a dead ball restart, Ismaila Jones' free kick catches the Grace defense off guard, and Munir Darbaki gets to it and chips it over the head of Brandon Hilliard for a 1-0 lead. Grace comes back to tie it up later in the first half as Ryan Zerbe will push the defender out of the way here. No call though, his shot is stopped, but he gets to the rebound and he puts it away to make it 1-1. And it stays tied up at 1-1 until very late in the match. About 2.5 minutes left, and Roberto Dominguez with it on the left side. He crosses it to Jome, and his header is perfect. His 29th of the season makes it 2-1 as Prairie Seeds win. The end of the game is what got everyone talking, though, as a fight breaks out just as the game concludes. Turns into a brief but violent brawl. Back to soccer, Lycans forward Munir Darbaki talks about his team's chances at state after finishing as runner-up last fall.
Well, last year it was really disappointing for us. We were expecting to win. A lot of people were expecting us to win, but didn't turn out. But this year we've been looking forward, we've been training hard. This is the final piece we've been working over for the last 3 years. Our possession game has been great. It's improving every time. And I think this year we have a really good chance to win the title.
As of this taping of Sports Jam, no word from the State High School League on possible player suspensions for the Lycans, who are the #2 seed for the State Class A tournament. They face Duluth Marshall in the quarterfinals Friday afternoon. That's at 5:30 at Roseville High School.
The Totino Grace girls soccer team was shooting for a 2nd straight trip to the Class A tournament. In the Section 5 final, the Eagles faced Monticello, a team that had upset Park Center in the semis. First half, and the ball gets behind the Magic defenders. Grace Steinhauser comes in. Her first shot is blocked, but gets another try and curves it in beautifully for a goal. And it's 1-0 Eagles. After a quiet first half, Monticello put some pressure on early in the second half. Goalie Gabrielle Eisfelder makes the save on Mackenzie Johnson's shot to keep the score 1-0. Steinhauser scores another great goal 11 minutes later, curving a shot off the goal post and into the Monty net. The Eagles win 2-0 to win Section 5A. Especially exciting for one Eagles senior.
I have been injured for the last 2 years. I tore both of my ACLs, so being able to finally play this year, my senior year, is amazing. I wouldn't be here without my team. I love my teammates. We're a huge family.
Bettina Grace is seeded third for the Class A girls tournament. The Eagles face Cloquet in the quarterfinals Thursday at Roseville High School. Benilde St. Margaret's is the #1 seed. The Red Knights meet St. Peter in the quarterfinals Friday at Park High School in Cottage Grove.
Champlin Park's boys soccer team entered the playoffs ranked #2 in the state in AA. The Rebels got a big challenge in the Section 5 AA title game. Rebels meeting at Mounds View for the section championship. Mounds View gets a string of corner kicks in the first half. The Rebels able to keep them out. Gavin Pugh's team starts to take over in the second half. Emmanuel Egbajor fights off a defender and gets a nice shot away on this one. But Jake Bartels with a big save for Mounds View. It's scoreless through regulation and overtime. We go to a shootout. Goalkeeper Alec Lebo with a big stop here for Champlin Park on Ryan Elvidge. And then it's Jake O'Brien's turn. He hits the clincher. Champlin Park makes all 4 of its shots. They win the shootout 4-2 to take the section title as a magical season continues.
I had a good feeling. I never thought we would achieve this undefeated, conference champion, section champion. So this is nice. This is a nice surprise.
The Rebels are the #1 seed for the state tournament, and they face district rival Blaine Thursday at 5:30 in the quarterfinals.
Despite being unranked for part of the season, the Wayzata girls soccer team is one of the favorites for the upcoming state tournament. The Trojans faced Hopkins for the 6AA title. Wayzata strikes early in the 11th minute. Summer Johnson with a nice run up the right side and scores for a 1-0 Trojans lead. Off the corner kick, some wild play here. The Trojans take a few whacks at it before Maddie Eklund eventually scores. And it's 2-0 Wayzata. Kylie Schwartz gets some room to operate, and that's usually bad news for the other team. Schwartz scores, and the rout is on. Early in the second half, Marika Kelly with a great corner kick. Schwartz nets another goal, the sweet header. Coach Tony Pesnicker's team wins another section title, dominating Hopkins 7-1. A score the Trojans certainly didn't expect.
If you look at the score line, we would have never thought that it was, we'd be able to put this many in against a good Hopkins team. But it just seemed like once we had put in a few, I think they started to panic a little bit, and we kind of got them out of their game a little bit. And our finishing was pretty good today. So it was a little unexpected, but it was certainly gratifying and nice to know that we could relax a little bit more down the stretch in the second half.
The Trojans earn the #2 seed behind Lakeville North for the state tournament, and they'll face St. Michael Albertville in the quarterfinals Wednesday at St. Cloud State.
We're to section time in prep volleyball. There should be some great battles in the 2 main sections we cover. The Section 6 3A field has to be one of the state's toughest. Defending state champ Eden Prairie is the #1 seed with Hopkins 2nd and Wayzata 3rd. Armstrong is the #6 seed with Benilde 9th and Cooper 11th. Armstrong hosts Cooper Tuesday in an all-Robbinsdale matchup. The quarterfinals are Thursday. Northwest Suburban champ Blaine is the top seed in Section 5 3A with Osseo 2nd. And it's St. Michael Albertville, Totino Grace, and Maple Grove. Champlin Park is the #7 seed. Maple Grove hosts Irondale, and Champlin Park hosts Coon Rapids. And the Thursday is the time for quarterfinals.
Teams in Section 5 2A seed after this taping of the Sports Jam.
That's right. And the Section 6 tournament, that one should be a really good one. Some good teams there. Blaine, certainly the favorite in Section 5, but Osseo will see if they can't maybe pull one out, take them down. Next up in our Sports Jam Spotlight with Jason Malolo, it's become an annual event. Wayzata's girls soccer team is back at state to pursue another title.
Dynasty is really the only word to describe the Wayzata girls soccer program. The Trojans have won 20 section titles and 6 state titles since 1990.
Wayzata takes aim at state title number 7 this week when the girls tournament kicks off Wednesday. In our Sports Jam Spotlight story this week, Jason Malillo examines one of the most successful high school programs in the state.
Dwelling on past success is something the Wayzata girls soccer team tries to not do.
I don't think we try and talk about it too much and focus on the past.
We just say, look, this is a new year, okay? And we have the potential to do this, or we have the potential to do that. Let's make sure we take advantage of all that we can do. And whether it happens or not, fine.
But 20 section titles and 6 state championships is a hard legacy to ignore. So the Trojans embrace the past while striving to continue the program's excellence in the present.
We do take pride on it. Like, we want to continue this success and create a good program for the future players at Wayzata to continue through.
Tony has obviously always told us, you know, this is what is expected, this is how it's been, let's try to keep this going, but it's definitely not something that we talk about it continually.
Tony Pesnecker became Wayzata's head coach in 1990 and led the Trojans to their first state title in 1991.
There had to be a starting point, you know, and obviously the first year of getting to a state tournament and then actually losing in a final, you know, that's where the bar was put to start with in my first year, and then winning the state the next year. I mean, and then I think ever since then the expectations were that anything was possible if you worked for it and you got there.
The downside of success is being viewed by opposing teams as a sort of evil empire. Whether it's regular season or playoffs, the Trojans are usually in the crosshairs of their opponents, which makes it important to play the game hard and play it fair.
I would say it has put a little bit of pressure on us because we know other teams just want to beat Wayzata. Maybe not even like beat us, but score on Wayzata, do something to kind of like not us down, but in a sense.
Definitely the talk is more, let's beat Wayzata instead of let's win the state. Yeah, I think that we've really made a statement throughout the years, and we've made you know, our mark in the soccer program. So I think that definitely we are a huge target that people want to knock down.
Last week, Wayzata beat Hopkins to win the section title and get a chance to defend its 2011 state title. Kylie Schwartz scored 3 goals in that section final, bringing her total for the season to 24. Pesnecker thinks Schwartz is the best player in the state, but his praise for the senior forward goes far beyond just this season.
She is the most complete player that I think I've seen in many, many years, and she's probably the most complete player that we've ever had because of her ability to go out there and play as a defender or play as a defensive player, and she's aggressive and very strong technically. I mean, her goals this year speak for itself, and I think if I were to go back and look at her record, she's probably progressed almost every single year in goals and points. Her experience really shows, you know, 3 years in a state championship game. I mean, she's got the confidence, and I think the people just look at her around, and that just kind of, it sweats right off her onto somebody else, and they know that, boy, this is what can happen if I put my effort into it every single day.
Soccer is known as the beautiful game, and for Wayzata, winning the state title would be a beautiful way to cap the season. 3 more wins, and that dream will be reality. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
Wayzata plays St. Michael Albertville in the first round of the state tournament. That game is Wednesday night at 5:30 at St. Cloud State University. Jay is back in a moment as he talks playoff football with the Cooper Hawks.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. Cooper football team having a great regular season, one of the best in an awful long time in their program history, and now getting set for playoff time. We're joined by a couple of the players and also Coach Willie Howard, and we'll start with Deshaun Williams. And you know, it wasn't that long ago that Cooper wasn't winning a lot of football games, but this year you come in and get 6 wins. Was it a good feeling for you guys?
Definitely. The first year we got here was my sophomore year. I thought we had a pretty good season, but this year is just something about it that makes it stand out and make it feel even better. So yeah.
You still stay hungry with a couple of tough opponents you played, like Spring Lake Park. Are those the kind of games that help you learn some things about the team too?
Definitely exposed a lot, so it helped us get better too. So yeah.
Now that you get set for playoff time, you just get a few days of practices for it. Does the tempo at practice kind of get up just because you know that now is the real time?
With us graduating a lot of seniors and knowing that Tuesday can possibly be our last time putting on the Cooper uniforms. It sets a fire, so yeah.
Good luck and good job in the regular season here.
Thank you.
And Shanti Payne, you've been putting things together, great rushing attack. You and Billy Kellogg have been lighting things up. Has it been fun to see just the way the offense has been progressing?
Yeah, it's just great to see our offense. I think the offense has been the best since I've been here. I've been here all 4 years, so it's the best I've seen it, and it's really fun.
Now when it gets to playoff time, do you just try and fine-tune everything you've been doing, or do you even change things at all, just knowing that it's playoffs?
Only thing we're changing is tempo. I mean, you just got to step it up a little bit. This is everything in the past doesn't matter. You know, it's a whole new season. Win or go home. So, I mean, we just got to take it up a notch and, you know, play harder than we've been playing.
All right, great job in the regular season. It'll be fun to see you guys in the playoff time here.
Yep.
All right, and Coach Howard, this is a team that I know you had high expectations for coming in. I don't think this is surprising to anybody around here, but, you know, you think back to a few years ago, this wouldn't have been the type of season that people expected from Cooper. Is it good to know that the bar's been raised?
I think the biggest compliment is when you hear the refs and the fans and the other fans from the other schools talk about the respect that they have for us as a team, not just the way that we're playing on the field, but how we handle ourselves on the field. And so it has been an expectation that the culture changes while I've been here, and I think I've aligned myself with a great group of assistant coaches and mentors, and these kids are buying into the system, and that's what we've asked, is just believe in us, trust in us. I've got a lot of guys that have been there and seen success, and I think that these kids deserve to see the same success that other local schools are able to see.
You obviously didn't want to have those 2 losses, but did you like the way the kids responded to them when that did happen?
You know, we opened up against a Benilde, a good football team, and in that game, you know, we've got 9 communities that make our football program, and so when people come into our school, it's very difficult to get them here before school starts. And so when we had that game 1 of the first week, we had to go out there. Sometimes, you know, weak-handed, but I expect other players that are here to step up. And I think it exposed us to we had to put in more work. And, you know, we got beat by a good Benilde team, and then we came back, won a couple games, and we lost to a very good Spring Lake Park team and made some mistakes, but credit to them for being disciplined. And I think it really taught us that we have to be disciplined in order for us to continue to win and do it the Cooper way.
Good luck in the playoffs, Willie, and a great job in the season.
Thank you very much.
All right, Willie Howard, the head coach of the Cooper Hawks. They open up against Park Center in section play on Tuesday. We'll be back to wrap up Sports Jam for you here in just a moment.
Our game of the week is section football as second seed Osseo hosts Anoka Friday night in the Section 5 6A playoffs. The game is Friday night. Catch the replay Saturday at 8:30 and 11 p.m. here on Channel 12. And that's it for this week's show. Thanks for watching Sports Jam.
Next week, we'll have state soccer and tennis highlights,
plus section action in football, volleyball, and cross country. We'll see you then.